Morning all, how's it going? Quick one today. It's bright and early here in California, and I just got up early to go for a run, about 6:30, and I'm full of fuck already. It's not even breakfast time, and I'm fucking pissed off. One of the most popular spaces on Quora, because obviously it seems like it just signed everybody up of its own accord, is the coronavirus, Q/coronavirus. And this morning, one of the most egregious examples of needless, insincere race baiting I've ever glimpsed with my own fucking blue eyes was posted by Mitchell Sy, this guy, right? Which, just click on his profile, right? I can't help but feel he's got a dog in the hunt because it says he's a hula hooping modern dance. He reads The Guardian, doesn't he? He reads The Guardian. Gymnastics, juggling, blah blah, cycling, running, festivals, more interests than fucking teeth. That's what we expect. He's obviously retired, and he went to Harvard, and he goes on about how high his IQ is and how he's a mathematician, a mathematics genius, and all this shit. So I reckon he's doing all right for himself, Mitchell, which may explain why. Well, three things. Why, first of all, he shared this fucking drivel. Secondly, why he's more than happy to post it despite the erroneous findings and the ridiculous classifications they've used. And third of all, why as soon as I pointed out some obvious facts and dropped some logic in the space, he instantly fucking deleted everything I wrote. So, the twats on Quora and the Paolo Alto Mafia can fucking do the worst. I'm still going to tell you what the fucking score is because the truth will set you free. It says families with zero or negative wealth. Again, there is no need for this. Like, you're supposed to be talking about the virus. You know, you would think things that of interest would be like statistics, death statistics, mortality rates, demographics of people that get over it, the different approaches they have in different countries. But no, Mitchell thought the best thing to share with us, this virus researcher from Harvard, because he went to Harvard and he reads The Guardian, so we know his politics, don't we? We don't even need to know anything else about him. He thought the most important thing to tell us about was the fact that Latino and black families have a lot less money than white families in America. We do know this because it makes sense, because the blacks obviously have their own legacy, and Latinos, which isn't even a thing in the rest of the fucking world, but obviously so many of them moved here very recently from poor countries that of course they've got an instant disadvantage, and most of them work in the service industry and a lot of them come here illegally. There's a lot of reasons why those two groups have less money in general than the white families. But the really important thing is this, not just that it's got nothing to do with virus or anything of real interest linked to the coronavirus, but is the fact that there's three classifications for your race. I've said this numerous times on Quora, right? You're either black, Asian, or Caucasian white. There's only three. That's what they teach in biology class in high school. There is no such fucking thing as Latino. Nobody, if you're in Scotland, you don't say, them Spaniards and Italians and Greeks, compared to my pasty ginger Scottish face, therefore they're all black, or something. It doesn't work that way. You don't say, I'm not white, I'm Spanish. And my wife's not, she's not Asian, she's Japanese. It's not a thing. Your racial classification isn't your country. My missus told me a friend of hers was whinging about, it's so hard being in an interracial marriage. And she's born and raised in America, her family are from Mexico. It's like, and your husband's white? Well then, you're white, so what are you talking about? Mexico, like is that a race now? Black, Asian, white. There's three. Done. So isn't it weird that The Guardian and Mitchell left out a key demographic there and slotted in a fictional one? Weird that, isn't it? White, Latino and black. I wonder what group's missing from there? What is it? I can't help but think there's a group. Maybe one that makes up fucking 4 billion people. What would that be? You know, the one group that makes up most of planet fucking Earth. That's missing, isn't it? Asian. Indians aren't on there. Chinese are on there. The big fuckers. They're not on this fucking research by this Harvard twat. There's the Guardian story. Coronavirus has widened the vast racial wealth gap. Like everyone who lives here is one as fucking related to Zuckerberg. Yeah, bonanza for billionaires. Bezos, Gates and Zucker twat get rich as unemployment rises. Yeah, because they sell cheap shit to people. It says the coronavirus pandemic has provided a bonanza for billionaires and further widened the racial wealth gap in the US. In the 12 weeks between 18th of March and 11th of June, the combined wealth of all US billionaires increased by $637 billion. Well, you always get more when you've got some, don't you? It's compound interest. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know any of this fucking stuff. It says they have more than the entire wealth of the US's 59 million Latinx population. By the way, nobody likes that word. Massive majority of Latin voters. Massive majority of Latinx voters don't like the term Latinx. No, because they're not retards. Like the far left communist cunts that work for The Guardian. Have you been chastised for using terms Latino or Latina? I have. That's why we use the Latinx term. Nobody uses the term. It's shit. Right? Let's just get that out there. It says they have more than the Latinx population combined and 3/4 of all black wealth, according to the analysis by the Institute of Policy Studies. The report is called White Supremacy as Pre-Existing Condition. 8 solutions to ensure economic poverty recovery reduces the racial wealth divide. Nice, ambiguous, apolitical title for this fucking dog shit document. I hope it was written in shit on a discarded newspaper. Isn't it shocking? Isn't it proper shocking though? All the dirty old crusty homeless one-legged white guys get fucked over because they apparently look slightly more similar to Mark Zuckerberg than Indians. And there's the little table. Look, black and Latino families are twice as likely to have zero wealth. Yeah, again, we know why. There's a legacy of poverty and slavery and all sorts of reasons in the United States. Thomas Sowell claims that the welfare state made it worse, and that in the 60s, black families always had a mum and a dad, and they all went to work and they were doing fine, and then we increased the welfare state and it basically encouraged young women to get knocked up without having a stable family life, and all of a sudden they're fucking living in poverty and they make out 9 out of 10 convicts. It's like, yeah, no one's got a dad, no one's got any money. We know all about that. And Latino the same. So many of them came here illegally, and if they didn't come here, they come from really poor countries in South and Central America. Of course they're not going to have as much money, but their kids will, and their grandkids are going to be going to college, and the American dream works. But like I said, that's not even the thrust of my point or my argument. The point is, they've missed off the world's biggest racial classification. The biggest one on planet Earth. Now, why do you think that would be? Why do you think the second that I pointed this out to Mitchell and said, this is blatant race baiting from The Guardian, Latino isn't even a thing in the rest of the world, why aren't Asians on there? Why do you think he instantly deleted my comment and he doesn't want anyone to see it? Well, I'll tell you why. Because according to the US Bureau of Labour Statistics and the TED Economics Daily, Asian women make more than white men. Asian women make more than everyone and all the men by a massive degree because they're well educated. It's both proof that America isn't an inherently racist society where you can't get ahead in the world if you're willing to work hard and get a good education. And it proves the needless race-baiting shite of The Guardian and Mitchell and the rest of the fucking Palo Alto Mafia with their absurd Marxist political views. Median usual salary, weekly earnings of women and men who are full-time wage and salary workers by ethnicity. Asians are well ahead of everyone. So if everyone in America is against brown people, why are the Asians out earning everyone? Why? Why are Asian women and men earning more than white, black and Hispanic counterparts? You give me a reason. The data is from Current Population Survey. To learn more, see highlights of women's earnings in 2017. That's from the US Bureau of Labour Statistics. Now, the only way I think that you can get around this is by saying, oh, well, the US Bureau of Labour Statistics of race is a white supremacist, capitalist, patriarchy, cishet, fucking penis-wielding scum. You could do that, but I don't think that's a very good argument. So, yeah, Mitchell, no bet. I wrote it all out there. I said, Latino isn't a thing. There is 3 categories if we're going to use race. If we have to, I don't like to. There's no, everyone's the same to me. I couldn't give a fuck what you happen to look like. But if we're going to categorise people by race, it's black, white, Asian. And Indian and Chinese, funny old thing, is quite a big fucking pair of countries, aren't there? There's quite a lot of people live in those motherfucking places. Weird how they don't want to include any of them. Because Asians do fucking great in America. They do better than white people. So let's just leave them out and invent a fucking category from nothing. Yeah? If Spanish and Italians and Greeks and everybody else who's slightly more tan than me and all the pasty ginger Scotsmen, if they aren't European, well, you go and fucking tell them, Mitchell. It's bollocks. And that is what got me full of fuck at 6:30am this morning. Not just the egregious bullshit fucking study from The Guardian, the aggressive censorship from Mitchell Sy and the rest of the Harvard-educated motherfuckers in the Palo Alto Mafia. Not only do they lie by omission constantly, they delete you or ban you when you try to point out the real facts. And that's why I get pissed off. And that's also why Quora constantly bans me for no reason at all. Fuck them. And if the cunts wipe me out on YouTube, then I'll go and fucking talk shit about them on fucking BitChute or Gab or wherever else they want me to go. But fuck them. The logic part of my brain rebels against the endless race baiting and fucking nonsense that twats like Mitchell, fuckheads like Dominic Rush, university educated humanities or sociology or fucking what have you, dipshit from an Ivy League university. They all are. He loves David Bowie, of course he does. Oh look, I can leave a comment on here. Let's see how fast Dominic deletes me. There we go, I responded to Dominic. There are 3 categories. In the UK we learned this when we were 10. Latino isn't one, and it's weird how The Guardian use a fictional one and skip Asian, which also comprises the 2 most populous nations on earth, to needlessly race bait. I wonder why. And there's an ice cream cap from the US Bureau of Labour Statistics. See how long that's up? Fucking Jack fucking doorstop will probably send the boys round my house and kick the fuck out of me in the car park. There'll be 20 men waiting for me with bike locks outside. Anyway, I can handle those fucking pansies, it's fine. Right, thanks for listening. I'm going on the piss all day. I'm going to Golden Road Brewery in Glendale, and then we're going on a massive pub crawl. So hopefully I won't be as filled with rage and righteous indignation in a few hours' time. But we'll see. Thanks for tuning in. Like and share if you liked it. And I'll see you guys for my BBC roundup tomorrow. Cheers.